I don't know. Wait for this. Okay. Want to do the restream and port that into everything, you know what I mean? It's just like a little bit easier so I could see chat over there, you know what I mean? Little like really easy shit or whatever. You know? No, it's just a lot easier. Yeah. I mean, was I talking about money or whatever? So, so I have like kids and everything. I want to make sure like I could just show up and buy them a car and everything, you know? So, just go down there and all the everything else like that. So, I mean, you just gotta take your responsibilities. And they'll be like 1%. Like I could just do that. Like, just you know, um, it's nothing. Like as soon as I find out, do it like that, and their college education. So I could hold it down, you know what I mean? Like things more mean more than need money, you know? It's just like you're smart. People want to say you're not, it's certain communities say you're brilliant. Certain ones, part of the structure, need to constantly follow documents that you're not smart, and that kind of thing, that you're not somebody. Like when you say, oh, doing everything you can for people to have a good life, you know? So you just realize it's just, reputation, um, money is sort of the same thing, They're going to feel the same way if you have money or no money. People are going to feel the same way if you don't. If you do, I mean, you need money to survive. Don't get me wrong. Cash rules everything around you, But it's you should save it. Is my point. You know, it's just like so. The thing is, you're just middle class. People arguing about such trivial things that you're better than someone else. This job and that thing, and this occupation. I make $1,000 more than you. Who cares? This car slightly better than that car. I mean, does it really matter? So just invest in. So I'm trying to get at, like, what's the point? No one gives a fuck. Really, no one does. So might as well get to the point where spending that 1% of your money when you're making 3%, or I mean, actually, let's say you're making 10%, like saying spending um 6% of your money, 4% of your money, 5% of your money, or whatever, doesn't affect you because you're still growing, still making more money, but it's just like, what I'm talking about. So it doesn't hurt you. So you're not spending 1%, the next one is 99, and there's almost, you're not like that. Like it's growing, but you're just taking a fraction of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to get at. And like, then that is like you're being a million. At 1%, at 2%, you know what I mean? Is you're spending 10 million a month. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to do. So when I meant it like just showing up, so hey ABC, yeah. I just put my chat up. This is the first time in my streams in like a while, that I had chat up. I never had my chat up or whatever. I just my other computer. I'm still in the other thing. So yeah, so that's what you're trying to get. You doing crypto? So I'm doing crypto. I got Shiba Inu. You know what I mean? The Shiba Inu army. I'm down. I'm out with the army. I don't know. They have to enlist or some shit. But they're crazy. They're like so motivated. You type, Shiba Inu, they're like, buy, do this, and creating hype or whatever. They got a hype train going. I'm like, you're the only person on the hype train. Okay. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of them, man. There's like, like Filipinos. It's like you push one out of your way, 10 take its spot, it's like throwing up them gang signs, the F for Filipino. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I want to fuck with the fail. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you should, man. Just educate, financially educate, you know. I mean, I was telling my neighbor today, you know, like, you know, like a Marine, you know, the loyalty, Marines grabbed me by the ankles and got me into crypto, whatever. And I was like, man, I don't want to deal with crypto, man. Fuck all that shit, that Ponzi scheme and all that other shit, you know. And you know, scam and I trying to, you know, we trying to do, man. You know, your Marine's supposed to be my brother and everything. Oh, you know, honestly, after a while, you know, you keeps bringing it up, like I invest or whatever. You read into it, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, okay. Sort of realize, you know, it's real, and then you know, he's another adoptee, I'm an adoptee, you know, sort of realize it. Keep pushing for like social change, for adopted kids and everything, you know, like good person, good people, and sort of just no, it's not too late. It's not too late, not at all. And it sort of brings you into it. So he's got to go through that process and everything. Keep reading into it and you kind of find figure it out because it's sometimes like at first it's overwhelming. Um, and yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming. We got to push through that threshold, be confused, and that confusion, being frustrated about it, you know, until you understand it and so you find things that overlap and then you're like, okay, you can't invest in something you don't know. And look at what crypto.com. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So look at freedomcrypto.com. So download that app and just put a little money you'll never see again into it and never look at it. I just realize crypto is a 5, 10 year thing. And the more you look at it, it's gonna like make you nervous and everything. And it still does, you know, it's just, but you know, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, but it's gradually gonna increase or whatever. So realize it's a 10 year thing, it's a lifelong thing. Because you want to spend that 1%. You don't want to like think you're outsmarting the system. I'm smart, you know what I'm saying? So I'm smarter than computer, smarter than the AI, smarter than computer. You know what I mean? It's just like let it do its thing, invest and wait to the point where when you take out that little bit of money, yeah, that's how people are. Everybody's like that. It's like I gotta prove I'm smarter than anybody. It's like it's perception and everything. Really, what genius is a lot of things, you know. It's a culmination of everything, and I truly believe it's there's a support structure, uh, a lot of it, you know. I have to believe that, you know. So I mean, I don't know, man. So you always want to be able to bring in talent. You always want to have access to information, be able to have that, you know, that intelligent people help you out, that empathy, that brilliance with empathy, you know. So I mean, everybody keeps all the other stuff you all read about, but that's what we want. People who are in your best interest that will advocate for you, that are good Samaritans, that are absolutely brilliant, and have all the other qualities too, you know. But these other people just rely on this, like I gotta make myself viewed as smarter than other people, so they could bring in that talent, or they have to do something that brings people attention, that brings in that talent. Those good people. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's just like when you grow up, you think you're like a like back in the day, you gladiator, you know, something crazy, you know, rob, be a glad, you know, do some criminal shit, and people are like, okay, I want to deal with that guy, but there's better ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is bringing in that talent, bringing that good support structure, you know, and you know, and unfortunately, racism pulls that rug away from you, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? You just got to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter whatever bureaucracy tries to lay down paperwork that you're not that, people will know, but like, he's that, you know what I'm saying? You just cross that threshold. You're like, all right, you know, bring in that good people. Um, but anyways, But it's a numbers thing. So you just want to get to the level where spending that 1% is good. And let's that 1% a few months ago was $1, and it was 10. Now it's 100. You know what I mean? So, and that's with the Shiba. And it was funny, we were talking about it last year. Shiba was like, it just has to make 1 cent. Talking about it, it's just like, the thing is, he sold his Shiba and I kept it, I was like, what I'm saying? So, anyways, I'm not supposed to drink anything. Fuck, why am I have coffee here? I could get rid of this coffee, man. Let me read the directions. I'm just doing 23andMe. Make sure, let me read the directions. Hooray, hooray, DNA. So right now it's 9:29. Now I gotta wait another half hour probably. Let me quickly, I'm gonna rinse my mouth out actually. Second here. And did see here warnings. I mean, it's a little bit of entertainment. I mean, it gives you a nice range of who you are. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying any DNA, but let people with numbers give numbers false accuracy, whatever. So, I mean, you take it with a little bit of stride, I'm talking about. So, I mean, if it says you're 80% native, probably native. But if it goes like anything below like 20s, like they say, so. But, you know, registry kit first. No food or drink for 30 minutes. Do not change your medication. Now remove the plastic film from the funnel lid. I won't do that. So I'm just gonna try to rinse out this coffee with just regular water and then do it at 30 minutes. I'll come back. So yeah, I got a broken leg. Got this ran wrap. I'll put over the coffee so I know not to drink it. So I'll just do this. Every time I'm looking at it, what does it have saran wrap in? In case accidentally sip it or whatever. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I had a stress fracture, so it was actually technically broken, but I already did a video on it. I don't know if you saw it. It's just I had my both ankle surgery broken. You could sort of see the scar right there, sort of, kinda. I have dark skin. You can't see any of my scars, anyways. But on both my ankles, because when we are evolved from walking, when we as apes evolved from walking, we want to use our hands and tools and our brain and everything else like that, but it's not a perfect evolution, and it would take another like million years to get our walking perfected or whatever. But we still have vestigial bones and ligaments, and the movement is not exactly perfect. Good, but it's not perfect. That's why everybody who runs always has problems in their knees and shit like that, because we're still kind of new to it as an evolving species or whatever, right? And so what they did, the VA approved and I pushed for that surgery to realign my feet, and they removed a few things and broke a few things or whatever. And this leg never healed. And what happened when they actually broke it or whatever, realigned it so I have better movement and everything, um, is this it damages this leg and causes stress fractures, so it never fully healed. After a year, it just kept getting worse, and I started weightlifting. I'm doing leg extensions. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We, our what do you call it? Yeah, we have a few things. Our tonsils, appendix. Yeah, we have a couple. We have a lot of things. So yep, yep. And some people, yes, it's just it is what it is. Um, and that's why if you touch a baby, you know, uh, right here, and it'll close down and shit like that. It's instinctive. It's kind of funny. The little things like that. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just dumb little stuff. I mean, and then our hair, we don't know why we have body hair. I'm talking about. Does it serve a purpose? No. Well, a little bit, I guess. Good stuff, stupid stuff like that. Yeah. So, I mean, anyways, so what happened was, weightlifting, then it gradually got worse, whatever. And then I didn't weightlift and I had that built up muscle. And I was just like, oh, it's just a process of healing and it'll gradually go away, And I mean, the process of weightlifting, of being, a little bit hurt after weightlifting or whatever, right? And so I didn't weightlift for a month and my leg felt fine because I wasn't weightlifting. And I just got my car and it's like, okay, now it's time not only to weightlift, it's also to do cardio and stuff like that, right? So I was like, okay, I'll do cardio, whatever. Boom, I took off on cardio with all that muscle mass, not stressing, not stretching, not, weightlifting or whatever. So it's like, oh, it's fine, whatever. Didn't realize it, but it was still injured. And, I had a microfracture, like internal, and then took off on it, and those bones just kicked up on it, and I had a stress fracture, and I didn't kind of realize it, but I felt it, and went into the ER, and they couldn't find it. I had an X-ray and everything, and they just said, I need a CT scan, and they said it's probably a stress fracture, but we can't see it because I was in Waikiki. Yeah, and I went in over in there, at Waikiki, and they were really cool about it. I think it was like Straub or whatever, and they're like really helpful and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, I'm waiting on the CT scan. I'm like, CT scan's taking over a week to get. And I was like, fuck, I'm talking about, it's like, how can I get the CT scan? I called up the VA, I called up my provider and shit like that. And I'm fully covered under the VA. Like, the only way you can get a CT scan, like, immediately, is if you go in the ER. I'm like, I go in the ER then, you know what I'm saying? So I drive my happy ass over the ER and shit like that. And sure enough, they give me another X-ray, can't find it. I get the CT scan, and I'm like, can't find anything on CT scan. and they're like this elevated or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? And so, but then the VA took over and like, okay, that was Army, that's active duty. And then the VA took over. I was just like, okay, we know you went to active duty ER or whatever, right? And we could give you, you know, it's like since they can find it, we'll find it. We'll definitely find it over the VA. The VA is huge, you know, it's bigger than uh I think technically it's bigger than active duty medical services because they're there to fight a war. They have like a medical field, obviously for obvious reasons, but it's not exactly big, but VA has a bigger medical field, right? And so you know, my VA provider, my primary care provider or whatever was like, all right, knew like where to go and speak to the specialist or whatever, and the specialist like, yeah, we could find it. Put him in give him an ultrasound. And so they gave me an ultrasound or whatever. They found the muscle tear, but they didn't find the you know, the stress fracture or whatever. They gave me the CT scan. Um, because they even give me the MRI scan over at the ER, and they're like still couldn't find it, right? So and then finally I went to the VA and like, okay, we'll find it. So got the ultrasound, they found the muscle tear, but they didn't find the stress fracture, but they're fairly certain it's a stress fracture, or that my bone was triggered into remolding, even though it was not broken, or that there's microscopic damage and it triggered into remolding because of my bone condition. My bone condition is hyperactive, you know. It just constantly breaks down and rebuilds. The metabolism is constantly moving, you know, like that. And if I don't have enough calcium or vitamin D, it doesn't rebuild itself as well as it does, you know. And my bone is like super thick, you know, like real thick. But you can't really tell unless you look at it and you focus on, oh, okay, yeah, bones are thicker or what right there. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so I got the ultrasound, they found the muscle tear, got more x-rays done. Um, got put on oxy, but they're just like kind of like don't know really what's up, whatever. And finally, a couple days later, it happened. You know, my mundane nothing. You know, what I'm talking about. It's just like literally, I had a rug over there, and I was going around the corner, put my foot on the rug, turned a little bit, and that whole twerking movement is what did it. You know, and what happened was my bone was actually broken, like surgically, right up in the center. And when they said like surgically straight, because a bone usually breaks like this when there's like trauma and everything like this. It was like it just broke like that and it stayed in place. Like there was nothing wrong with it at all. It was like super, you know, one of those rare things, you know, because my bone condition, yeah, it was painful, man. It was painful as shit. Even like a motherfucker. And so it broke and it stayed right there. And when the ambulance come in, they couldn't find anything wrong with it other than my bone condition. So they went in. It's like, is it broken? Like, you know, what's wrong with it? You know what I'm talking about? To kind of fuck with people's heads or whatever. And so they're about to take me to some no-name hospital. I was like, I never heard of that hospital. And I was with this person, this Korean from Colorado, and I was like, I'll go to the hospital, man. He goes, you know, you want to go triple? I was like, triple. And called up, you know, and she called up and all right, I'll send you tripler or whatever. And I was like, all right, send me tripler, man. At least, you know, there's some competence over there, you know what I'm talking about? And so, you know, have to duty, you know, have a little passion about their jobs and or whatever. I don't know. I never heard of that hospital, man. So I went in there and I redid the CAT scan because, and they found the broken bone. It was like perfectly broken in the center, not like this, but like all the way up. And there's like, and they were surprised, like, it didn't even move, you know. It's like right there. So I'm like really grateful that it didn't shift, it didn't break any nerves. And I know it didn't break any nerves. I felt every fucking nerve that it touched. God damn it, I felt every fucking. So it didn't sever any kind of nerves, which is good because if severed nerves, then you're like paralyzed and shit. Got nerve damage, whatever. And yeah. So um, then I had surgery the same day. Yeah. Like I don't know if you have surgery, could I just have a cast? And I was like, no, I'm having a cast. Sure, you're fucking gonna drill those motherfucking pieces of bone together. You're gonna fuse it. For the last year, it was broken probably. It didn't fuse correctly. You know what I mean? And for the last month, they couldn't find out. Like, threw that fucker together some way. Goddamn, I was about to pick up my coffee too, by the way. Um, so that's what they did. But then they offered me correction of bone alignment, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that. So what they're gonna do is like they were talking about external fixators and shit like that. I was like, I read up on it. I was like, man, I don't want that. I want the internal um thing that lengthens your bones and straightens it. And so it'll just be a lot easier. And it won't even leave scars or whatever. I mean, it will leave scars, but it won't leave like these massive things in it. Those externals, you could knock into it and it could break, but if it's internal, what I mean? It's just like you can't knock into it or whatever, what I'm saying? So that's safer. I'm just gonna do it. So it's gonna make me like taller, I'm talking about in both legs and shit. So I was gonna like wait until later on, but it didn't make any sense because I always like with the real estate, I was like, oh, I'll just make when I have more money, when I have more money, when I have more money. Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely gain some height. Yeah. So definitely. So instead of 5'6", I'll be a taller height. Um so I'm probably in all the bones that I have it in. And then once it's in, I'm gonna ask for like iridium, a platinum, but I might even go like a denser of one with like palladium or something like that. Um, Rod just put in there because the higher density rod, the thinner it could be, and the thinner it be is better because the less bone will displace, and it'll just give it more rigidity or whatever, strength and everything. Yeah, and so have that my bones in here and then in my arms or whatever inside and shit like that. So it'll be a lot easier. I mean, I don't want to say everything else, but it'll be a gradual process. And it's good because as my money like accumulates, um, I won't have anywhere to spend it, and I'll be able to enjoy it, a lot better. I'll be just be, around the world or whatever. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about nothing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a little bit easier. And I mean, because once if I wait, because it'll be weird, because then like, okay, when I have money, then I'll be spending money. It's just like, and then I'll be like, well, once I have money, it'll be easier. And I was just like, nah, man, let's do it in pieces, and it'll be a lot easier. Um, and besides, the sooner I have it done, the more benefit I'll have for life. If I wait 6 months, I mean, it's just like then it comes to never wait, then it'll be perfect. And then if I have this, then it'll be perfect. Wait, let me have that, then let me do it. It's just like let me just go ahead and just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but with the healthcare, you always had to advocate for yourself. You always got to push for it. But the thing is, like, once you go into the healthcare system, they tell you what you need, and they know you need it. But just because you need it, there's this whole like logistics of it. I'm talking about you got to have this form, that bringing everybody together. I'm talking about. So even though they know it, it doesn't automatically happen. You have to be the one pushing for it. Now I know I need it. Other doctors I need it. And now I have to advocate for that, have other people come in, other experts be like, okay, yeah, we've spoken to this guy. This is how you go about doing it. I'm talking about this is how it looks on the VA side instead of just the military side. And they're two different departments. And sometimes they don't handshake correctly. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they speak to each other and everything like that, and they confer and they do the surgeries and everything, but it's not seamless. You know what I'm talking about? So you always got to push. So, and the thing, and that's another thing. Like if I wait, then I have to go back and you know, I'm talking about then I bet I have to start the process now, you know, I'm talking about because it's not perfect. I'm like, oh, I can't start it on this month. And just because I'm ready for it, you know, I'm talking about. So I have to start right now. And then when it happens, it just naturally, you get everything to come together or whatever. It's just how our insurance system works. And even though I'm fully covered and they'll pay for it and everything else, that doesn't mean like it's just like it's just not this, like what I'm talking about. You just constantly gotta be on top of everything. That's my point. So I mean, it's just like yes, just because you need something doesn't mean it happens. You know what I mean? So and just the whole bureaucracy of it. So you gotta maintain it, and half of it is finding the bureaucracy of it or whatever. I'm talking about. And unfortunately, in the VA, there's tiers of level of care, and of course, unfortunately when you deal with somebody, they're always some people just don't want to work and they'll be like, you're tier one or whatever. Like, no, 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 I'm in top tier. I qualify for everything. And so if they say you're top, you're not, you're on the bottom tier, they just won't push through your paperwork. And you got to call back and you got to do this. And then it's every step of the level. And that's even just to be seen on this thing for this fucking, referral, and you need this referral for the other referral, and that referral is for the other referral, and this thing is for you to be pre-qualified, not pre-qualified, but so you can have this surgery and this and that. It's just like and you go in these circles. See, it's got to constantly be on the phone, whatever. That's the VA system for you. You know what I mean? And the whole time you just got to be cool about it. And people got this like sadistic pleasure, be like, you're tier one. You're gonna have to suffer. You know what I mean? You're like, no, no VA care for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty nuts. And so you just gotta be, no, I'm top tier. But when you walk in, they recognize you and everything. It's like, oh, I didn't know you knew that you recognized me. Yeah, it's like I'm on crutches. You know what I'm saying? I want to be recognized. I was just trying to get out of here. You know what I mean? Shit. I'm talking about. I was like, I'm just kidding. That wasn't. But it's just they're the cool in there. VA is a different thing. It's like you got outs here, really not America, different country. But inside the VA, it's like they got some good people, really good of what the island has to offer. And it's a different world and really helpful, you know what I mean? And then on the military side, you got military doctors dealing with dependents who are really just, oh God, the dependents are, how can I say this? Entitled people. So they treat you like that. I'm like, I'm good. I'm here for the expertise and the people who are out of the way to serve and shit like that. I don't want to have that attitude of I deal with no dependent type of attitude. I'm talking about. But the VA is really good. But my point is the whole time you got to be that person they want to help for dealing with that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you want to really want to jump over the counter and be like, ah! But you just all right. I'm good. I'm good. Good. I don't want to do anything. I'm all right. But yeah, I see it. Like sometimes you be in the VA, but all right, he's here. Like you don't know what I did for this country. Yell a lot, annoy the fuck out of everybody. So what do you do? I don't know. Like, what I'm saying? So I mean, because that'd be cool. You know what I mean? You got to be the person people want to help because they're veterans themselves. I'm talking about. So I mean, you just gotta be. You just don't want to do that. Always want to find out good people. Like anything else. Some people are just assholes. You just gotta find people gonna do the job sometimes, and sometimes you gotta really, really find out people who are out of their way. But sometimes that's racism for you too. On this island, they don't even want to work, do the job for you. Like yeah, you see that in New Jersey. They don't want to do the jobs for you. And it's like I'm not asking uh be equal. Sometimes I'll make it if you just do your job. If you just do your job, I'm good. I got this. But they don't want to do that. It's just like you just gotta keep at it. What I'm saying. Saying so. I'm good. So I mean, someone's killing some time here. Um, this is the DNA test. I want to undo the plastic. My saliva already. You read these things. So I think all the four major ones and everything. I'm probably gonna get DNA, ancestry, DNA again, redo it because I don't think I waited 30 minutes. If I remember correctly. So maybe that's some coffee bean DNA, Columbia DNA down there. I don't know. Maybe they throw that out. I don't know. And then the circle one would be fine. It'd be the traits and the that kind of traits and like the DNA. I don't really think they do ethnicity, and I think there's another one, heritage. I got another one. So got two coming in. I got this one and another one coming in, and then I'll definitely get the other one. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it might be 10% coffee bean, man. It's like look, nah, I don't really claim it. I don't really like put it out there, but I might be that. I get all a little crazy all of a sudden, get a little jumpy from that. Bouncing off the walls. Yeah, now my yeah. Two sisters are Colombian. No food or drink for 30 minutes. Fill to the line up to here. Not bubbles. Fill the line as shown. Okay, not funnel. Not bubbles. Fill to the line. Close the funnel lid. Sounds good. Holding the tube upright, close the funnel lid as shown by firmly pushing on the lid until you hear the click. The liquid in the lid will be released, okay? So don't be surprised about that. In the tube, and mix with the slab and make sure the lid is closed tightly. Sounds good idea. Screw on the cap. Continue to hold the tube upright, unscrew the funnel, and discard. Use the cap to seal the tube. Shake the tube for 5 seconds. Seal the bag, you're nearly done. Now place the bag capped. Now place the cap tube into the plastic bag containing the absorbent pad and seal the bag. Do not remove the absorbent pad from the bag. Okay. Ship the box. Right. Then I'm gonna put it under my tray. If it's here in time, whatever. So I'm pretty sure this one will be here in time. I think the second one will be. The other one I was debating because there's a couple of stages of them. It's like 100, 200, and the $400 one. And I was like, and it was like, I don't know if the sale was on yet. And I was like, I'll do the $400 one. And I'll just do that, because I don't want to like rebuy. And I just have because they always get updated or whatever. I think like maybe every 5, 10 years I'll redo it. You never know. Maybe their methods should change and the ability of their lab work has improved in accuracy and everything. I'm talking about because the truth of the matter is like you have to keep taking samplings of people to get a more accurate thing. And no one's 100% pure of anything. I'm talking about. So it's really difficult to do these things, whatever. I mean, if you read up on it, but it's definitely intriguing. Very, very fascinated by the whole thing. So I don't know. I like looking into it, being adopted and everything. Shouldn't be no surprise, that I do. But I like it. I mean, and plus you get to be transparent. It's just like everybody out here being like, oh, this, that, and everything, and you throw everything up, and you let the consensus decide who you are and everything, so they could, you know, joke, and um, who you are, and find out who you are, and then of course, hopefully, bond and create, you know, a connection with you. Really, you want to have that, talking about like, I see where you come from, talking about, I understand that. You know what I mean? Well, so it's a little bit entertainment, talking about, and the thing is, if someone don't like you, then you filter them away and but they don't like you for who you are. And the people who like you for who you are. And so you get that quality of people. So you do create that connection. And talking about so that's what it's about. So but everybody says you're native, whatever, but the thing is, everybody, you don't want to debate it. You want to make it an argument. You don't want to say, why all these cultural things, whatever. I'm saying you just have it right there. And especially with the federal government, it's all about DNA and having blood quantums and everything. Because, what it really is, with native culture is, you have, it's already been destroyed and all you have is just like these little, um, answers and everything, which is just a snippet of what it used to be. And it's not truly what it is, it's just um, what they were able to piece together, I'm talking about. And then white people, they say, oh, well, it has to be what used to get the power. The, what Polynesians do. And it's just like, it's not that. It's already been corrupted and destroyed already. And then outside people say, well, if I just do a little something like that, well, then I'm native or whatever. And it's not that, you know what I mean? So it's a whole different other things. I mean, growing, it is that, but it's so much more. So, I mean, so, you gotta have, and to me, it's just like, it's my blood, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's just a part of me. It's what draws me. It's what is who I am. My DNA, literally. I mean, what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I don't know. I want to do it correctly, I guess. Because now it's at 10:01. I guess don't want to open it just yet. See how to do it. Because you only get one shot at this. Don't have any alcohol cleaners or anything else that kill anything. Um, Here we go. Give me another 2 minutes just in case. Um, what do you know? What do you notice now? Is everybody argues? It's just like everybody could argue that they're native. Then who's native? Is it an argument? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta be open. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, you gotta be happy with who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I am. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I just remember some of the people arguing like, who's native, who's that, who's Latino, and It's just like if you argue it, I was like, it's about community, being together, helping each other out. You gotta understand, like, if you're native, you would have those documents, like reservation, or if you have from Samoa, you have like your Samoan, born in Samoa, you're Samoan, Micronesian, you're from this Micronesian town or whatever. I mean, island town, the Kushayan, Rookie, uh, Pohnpei, uh, Hebrides, well, I think that's UK and everything. Marshall Marshall Islands, Puerto Rico, and you have that, and you could readily say you have that. You know what I mean? But nowadays, it's whoever like it's just like status symbol or whatever. There's real social problems. And it's just like you gotta attend to the social problems. I mean, it's like sort of like your obligation and your responsibility, and people don't do that. Like really frustrating because people suffer, and directly that's your support structure. That's what makes you survive and succeed. And so it is. And that's it's kind of, and so it's just kind of it is frustrating. You will get angry. It's just like, well, on my mom's side, dad's side, I'm Hawaiian. And also, I'm this magical fucking race of being, of also being Boricua and Puerto Rican. I, like, but you're just saying that, and you're stealing other people's clout and stealing resources away from Polynesians and Native people. I mean, just because you do a little hula or whatever doesn't mean you're Hawaiian. You know what I mean? It's just like, where's the bloodline? You know what I mean? Where's the people who actually like that? The majority of people, the homeless on the island is Hawaiian. Like, so you tell me if you could do a little hula better than someone else, and you could say a bunch of Hawaiian words, your Kumalipo told you how to fucking do this shit and shake your hips, whatever, means you have the right to take away from other people that are, that are struggling. I mean, it's like you don't feel nothing from that, but you're so accustomed to it, so ingrained. It's like, you know what I mean? You're brought up that it's okay to say it, that you don't even think twice. But there has to be some kind of quantifiable way saying who's Hawaiian, who's not, who's native, who's not. You know what I'm saying? Because who's native is they could instantly just bring up and be like, even like be nothing to them. You don't have to debate, don't argue, and be like, oh, my mom, dad, this, that, and the other. Yeah, there it is. There is I'm born in Micronesia, reservation. You know what I mean? That's it is. Unfortunately, that's where your heart is, where your loyalties are, your responsibility is to make Native people's lives better. Is what I'm saying. It is what it is. It's real. I mean, it's not like federal government tells you that. I'm not saying it's the federal government's fault. Is how natural human behavior is too. They can't say, "Oh, the government made you like that, made you plug quantum, made you adhere to DNA." But it's just it is a combination of factors. But you can't fault people for being like, "Hey, at some point there was resources and recognition and everything needs to address those social concerns, right?" Anyways, let me do this. Um, yeah, I mean the eviction The top 10% is moving because they have money and they want to escape COVID, or they want to escape COVID, and everybody moves, so money's flowing. But now, like the bottom 10%, and like speaking a couple of Micronesians or whatever, being evicted like crazy, bottom 10%. Like I said, no one cares. It's like, and on top of that, people want to argue, but like, yeah, fuck them, they deserve that. And it's like, yeah, to you, it's just a social thing, I'm talking about. It's just like picking, the societal thing to be above people. Oh man, it's nothing like that. It's about caring. If you're gonna be native, you gotta. How could you think badly about other native people? I mean, it's just like, I don't understand it. It's about if you have a lot of blood, you naturally care about other native people. You do. I might take a half hour to fill this shit up. Just, oh my god, I didn't know. Like talking with this, believe me, all my damn saliva. Yeah. So, sometimes, I asked, I was like, you live in the homesteads? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody's like people from Y&I, the rude. I was like, not friendly to me, like kind of friendlier to me. You know what I mean? It's like, they were like, oh, Samoans are mean. I'm like, really, really friendly to me. You know what I'm talking about? It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a small island. Like, what do you do to somebody? It's like, do you look at them like they're less than you? Well, don't look at them like they're less than you. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Look at people like they're just as equal to you, just as smart as you, as brilliant as you. You won't have a problem. I mean, and if they're rude to you, then there's nothing on you. It's on them. You know what I mean? But don't like play the role like you have all this whatever, and you probably every people pick up on that. I'm talking about on that animosity or whatever, and they reciprocate. So don't do that. Don't think you could hide your emotions and you're bullshitting and manipulating everybody and whatever else, and then some shit happens and be like, oh, they're rude. I'm the same. It's just like growing up, I had such a rare bone structure on my face, being native, I mean, I don't mind my hair, don't pay attention to my hair, but you could just tell, it's just super rare. And they just don't know where it's from, it's Native American, so it's just like, I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. Like sometimes I realize it, but I mean, I see everybody around me, I don't see myself, so I don't know how rare it is. Me, I'm like everybody else. I act like everybody else. I talk like everybody else. I'm talking about, so I didn't even know I had an accent until I left the New York area. I thought everybody speak like me. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Every little bit I get a little bit more saliva. I gotta like keep talking or whatever, so it comes out. It's like your brain is like, ah, his mouth is dry. Make more saliva. I want to knock this over. Um, I want to rip off these tags, but probably will because something gonna be a point where I'm gonna quickly put this on. I got a Reinhardt too. Here's the other older one. Sort of see like whatever that guy is. I don't know what is Zeratul or something. Protoss, yeah. Protoss. I don't know, it's just like growing up argue, like how much Latino they are and all. This is not an argument I want to really be in, growing up in a Italian German household. I guess like really and my mom's like really Nazi German, so hopefully it was kind of suppressed her Irish side. Like man, I never really tried to bring it up to people too much that I was German, I was like it's Irish. Just acts off Nazi. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like crazy. But like okay. You know what I'm saying? So like uh God, your last name's Oakley anyways. And so yeah. So the Italian some people arguing, oh, I'm Latino and everything. It was always like an argument. They're all light skinned. They always got to argue. And if you speak Spanish, it was never really, oh, yeah, you're Latino. So it was always an argument thing. I'm like, I never really had to get in those arguments because I was, dark or whatever. Like, it's because I had so much native blood and everything. But, it's just like I grew up in, a white household. And so it's just like, I don't really want to like say who's Latino or not. But sometimes you have to because it's just like, what the fuck is that shit? It's like, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just like, how's that bringing people together? How is that bringing us? It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing, man? It's like, to you, it's just like an image. It's like, you can't do that. What I mean? It's just like, that hurts us all. And it's just like, fuck, what I mean? And so you gotta like be a complete fucking asshole. But I'm the last person to be like that, what I mean? So, but I never really had to get into those arguments. Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, you try to say this, or whatever, about me. So I'm very grateful for that. But it's like I mean, that's just Jersey for you. Got some characters. Especially, with my friends. I'm very grateful. Still think about it to this day. How native oriented they were, even when growing up in my family that did, is just like you sort of hate to say, yeah, you had these mixed feelings and these emotions up and down about being native, you know. It's just like they make you proud to be who you are, you know, bring that out of you, you know. You know, but there are like, you know, Puerto Ricans that, you know, change your name, sound more Italian, you know, sound more white or whatever. I mean, but you know, it's just like you have to do things to survive, you know, and can't blame. I mean, then you got people that are just like Renaissance that do everything to make it and help out everybody too, you know, few and far between. But I don't know. But you see that in the Mexican and Puerto Rican community and Cuban community. Um, you're just like you don't want to be like that, you know. But I understand where it comes from. You know, I don't want to call my sister out on doing that, or an Iron Cross and shit, you know. But yeah, you see it a lot, especially in the suburbs. Lifting, headbanging music, screwdriver. Like, I just hear that. Heard that. You're playing it. And I gotta be all like precise. How much is bubbles? How much is pretty far. Unusual talent, number 1069. If I could do it. What I learned in church farm school as a wee little seventh grader. I don't know why we learned this, but this is some weird ass shit. You be sitting across from somebody, whatever. See, I actually know to do that to my tongue. Get it in there to like it forces that saliva into your tongue. See that? Like leak that's coming out. There it is. Seventh grade. Seventh grade in Catholic school for you, Presbyterian. And God, we were wild. God, our cottage uh headmasters or whatever, ruthless, whatever. I don't know. I guess you can't really say it, but I remember like yeah, you didn't want to fuck around, whatever, man. Like we had church 3 4 times a week. Was it four? Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, something like that. Anyways, or Wednesday, Friday sometimes. I don't know because there's like I don't know Friday or whatever, some shit. Usually like 2 days in a row. Anyway. Long story short, like some people didn't get up on time, whatever, and you have church before you ate and whatever, right? And so people were bullshitting like, okay, while I'm praying, right? So sit on the pew and and just like they were praying. And some people were like that. They were ultra fucking, religious shit like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna do what he's doing, right? And I'll do the same damn thing. I was like, because I got straight A's and shit like that. It allowed me to do that. But then I was like, do what the other guy's doing too, whatever. I'm falling asleep, I'm taking a nap, whatever. So I take a little nap too, 45, 10-minute nap here. We'd be like dead ass tired and shit like that, right? And cottage mate will come along, you know, your back of your head shaving, it's got a nice clean haircut. It's across the head, and it's like you just hear it across the church. Sit up. Did you hear me in church? You hear a couple of your smacks every couple of church. Like fuck you. You know what I mean? Funny. Uh, and or it'd be like you're like in class or whatever, right? Like doing your homework, whatever. Teacher goes out for a second. You just like